So here we are on another 7 days to die. At the moment, we are heading to the Rabid Recovery Hospital. Now, myself and GamerGirl Chibinee have been working on this project. Now, this is not a practical base. It does not have a blood moon base in it. This is a theme that we've been working on. We wanted to do just something, for a bit of relaxation and a lot of fun, I must say, as per usual.
Hmm.
And so we've turned this hospital into a very, very kind of luxurious survivor hospital, because as per usual, we don't have to live in a dump basically. So with that in mind, we have made a what we would like to call a state of the art. Never mind the state of the floor, but we've made a state of the art hospital for 7 days to die. So we're just going to do this walkthrough. As I say, there is no blood moon. You could. There's no reason why you couldn't build this with the mods that will be printed below. But I would say that if you're playing,
Careful.
don't worry, I've got this.
Ooh.
You always say careful, and I never hit things. You know, I am a damn good pilot for a partially blind guy, even if I do have my eyes closed half the time.
No.
So in we come. Yes, this is going to be a walkthrough. No, no,
Mm.
come back, come back, come back. Honestly, you've never seen such a fudge up on this helicopter before. I mean, I'm good, but tonight I'm just losing the plot. Okay, there we go. We've
That's
popped
pretty
down.
good. I'll give you that. That's pretty good.
That's because I'm a damn good pilot, like I said.
And so the name of this hospital?
This is the Rabid Recovery Hospital. Yep, because you all know, it only takes one survivor to get a bite, and before you know it, they're all ankle biters, and yeah, it's bad news, very bad news. So yeah, so we've kind of showcased the mods. We've turned this into as much of a theme as a medical hospital as possible, as usual, with a few luxury touches here and there. Okay, so yeah, going to start right at the very beginning. Thank you, Chips, as always. You know what I mean. We're me and you, as per usual, double teaming this hospital and putting a lot in. So yeah, definitely thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm really excited to showcase this. We did a lot of work. There was a lot of changes, different mods used, a whole bunch of different things. So I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we did building it. So
And incidentally, we have just finished doing a thorough walkthrough of this on Chip's Twitch channel. So if you're within the 14 days of the making of this, then you'll be able to see that and the blood moon that we just adventured on
we did,
over on her
yeah.
channel. So please do go over there. Subscribe, follow, and yeah, and enjoy. So okay, over here first. Here's a bathroom. Now up here at the moment, yeah, Survivor Hospital. This is not for everybody, obviously, as per usual. We've pretty much had our own characters in mind for this. So we've got a very luxury bathroom here. We're
And
keeping this aside from the survivors.
this wasn't here. There is nothing like there. This was added on, so that was a little bit of an addition.
What
As
you're
well as on this level, you'll see a bunch of different changes if you've done this hospital. So
what you're looking at here is the Navezgane Tier 5 hospital, and we've obviously redeveloped it, reconstructed certain parts of it. So you'll see that, you'll recognise it as it goes through. Obviously where we are at the moment is where the loot room is. Obviously we've just come from the helipad at the top. What you're looking at here is normally where you would come down these stairs here, and this kitchen area is obviously where the loot would be. You would normally find your heavy lock chest over there, your weapons bag and everything else. And obviously this is a private server, so we're not disrupting anybody. We've not stolen a tier 5 POI so that people can't raid it or anything. This is a private server, so I wouldn't normally use a tier 5 for doing this, because obviously you block a good raiding POI then. But we've had a lot of fun not only clearing it out, but obviously remodeling it and reconstructing it for our own purposes. So nice neat little kitchen here. We've done this one out. We actually swapped roles for this, didn't we, Jibs?
we did. So basically, this time around, you kind of did this level and whatnot, and so there's another kitchen down the way, but this was kind of like a makeshift little kitchen because, well, the living quarters is kind of for our characters, I guess you could say, on the top level, and then each of the other levels you'll see there's differences here and there and whatnot. So, but you made good use of the space. Um, and again, you used which mods for this one
You'll
for the
notice that with all
furniture,
the kitchen stuff and all the furniture in there, it's all Zensities. The only thing I
right?
would say is that the fridge over here is actually from Zenji's store, isn't it?
Zen store, yeah.
Zen store,
Mhm.
that's correct. Yes, that's
Mhm.
the other furniture mod we're using. We're using two different furniture mods to really kind of mix it up because Zensities is very, very perfect, very pretty and very clean, and Zen store is just a little more down market perfectly.
Yeah,
And
and
I've
then this is the bedroom,
this is the bedroom. Um,
and
sadly,
you're
sadly,
missing a bed. Why is
I
that?
am missing
Oh,
a bed because yes, there was a slight incident before we got here. If you watch Chibs's Twitch stream, you'll know that during that I died during the blood moon. I respawned back here, and yeah, the bed got destroyed. Anyway, yes, there is normally a nice big double bed here. Obviously the side cabinets. This being the upper apartments. Nice set of books here. It's very well decorated. In actual fact, I did this room for a change, and then Chibs enhanced it by putting a few nice little touches in here. Um,
what are you talking about? There's a bed there. I don't know. I think there's a
thank
glitch
you
in there.
very much, Chibs. As per usual, you have my back. Okay, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated, as always. So here we have a little desk, little study here with a window looking out over the city and the town there. Can't see much because it's dark and obviously reflections from the windows. But yeah, essentially we've got a nice room going on here. It's where we can just kick back at the end of the day from killing zombies, relax and rest up. And this is the private apartments at the top here. So we really did this with, our own characters sort of, more in mind. So you have a private place to go. And the rest we have made into what we would like to call a medical facility. So, um, yeah, we'll continue down. Okay, so now we're going on to more Chibs. You did this area, didn't you? You really gone to town on this area.
Yeah, this one was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this because the floor, I was like, I don't know what to do. The others were a bit easier to do because we kind of had in mind what we wanted. And then this one, I was like, why don't I make this kind of like not, um, how do I say? It's kind of a jack of all trades, really. So you have your washroom, but it's kind of like a central place where everybody can kind of meet up. You can eat and just relax, kind of chill with your friends, that kind of thing. So you have like the different like soda machines, soda fountain kind of thing, your beverage coolers. You got your entertainment set up with a couple TVs and whatnot. You got a pool table. People can just relax and chill. So not for base. Well, you could use it for recovering patients, I suppose, or just any survivor that has been picked up. They just have a place to lounge and just take it easy kind of thing.
Certainly, some of you more perhaps able-bodied survivors, and those who actually don't have a lot wrong with them, would perhaps be able to come up here and enjoy it.
Mhm.
But it's a lovely area. I think you've done well with it, considering there's a lot of sort of deciding what to do with it, and I know you had to ponder about that one.
It was a bit tricky, yeah. And there's a bunch of different editions here and there and whatnot. And again, excuse me, just a whole bunch of mixing and matching with the different mods that we've used. And you're going to post those up
I am, yes. I'll place them at the
afterwards
bottom.
so people can look at all the different mods that were used and whatnot. But you'll see some vanilla pieces here and there. And then you're also going to see the different types for the furniture and plants and things like that. So it's pretty cool.
Very nicely
I
done
like
here.
it. Yeah.
Now we're about
Thank
to
you.
move on to one of my favourite bits, because obviously I always do the garden and I always do it practical. And by garden I mean I put a whole bunch of farm plots out on a balcony
Mhm, mhm.
and I line them all up and that's it. But out here you've excelled yourself. You really have.
Yeah, so basically you have kind of like the lounge area, and I kind of continued it out, but onto a patio kind of scenario. So we have, some nice benches, seating area, whatnot. You have your barbecue, grill, and whatnot, and just a place to relax. But this patio is like huge, like it's just immensely large and whatnot. And basically, yeah, like uh ended up making a lovely greenhouse here as well, which is
You've
pretty
done really
cool.
well with
So,
this.
yep. So I really enjoyed making it, and it was a lot of fun to do and whatnot. So,
I like the way you've got your chicken coops. It's all nicely spaced out. I mean, to be honest with you, since we've got a survivor hospital here, you need to be able to feed all the patients, and you've done really well with the use of space. You've even got your little bunny pen over here as well.
I
So we've got a
do, yeah.
nice little choice of rabbits in here, chickens over there. You know, not only are they great for like soothing patients who want to be able to stroke rabbits and everything else, but let's face it, folks, everybody needs to eat, and occasionally, well,
Mhm.
the term breed like rabbits and chickens. Well, I'm just saying that the menu needs meats back on the menu, boys.
Yep.
And obviously out here we have all the crops. You know, you've done really well with the sort of space and everything else, and the amount of crops here means that you're going to be able to keep people, well fed. I think, especially as let's face it, most of them coming in are going to be injured or recovering. And a lot of the plants you put in here, such as goldenrod flower, let's face it, everybody's had to use those occasionally when you've eaten that odd stray can that you found in a broken down house, and yeah, gone and got your state of the brown trousers. So at that point, goldenrod tea, definitely helps with the dysentery problem. That obviously, chrysanthemums up there for the red tea for the digestive system. Let's face it, whenever you're a beginning player, that red tea goes down a nice treat. It's better than just boiled water. And of course, aloe vera, because we all know you're going to need medical bandages and such like cream and all those kind of things. And let's face it, it's not like you can just order out and get this stuff sent or delivered to you. So the hospital's got to be self-sufficient in an awful lot of ways.
I really enjoyed putting the different raised beds. I wanted to do a bit different design because normally you guys, yeah, I find a lot of people they do like an outer perimeter kind of thing, and then that's it. And I'm like, yeah, but look at how much space you got here, and that you can properly use and utilize. So I did it in such a way so then that way your character, not just one but two players, if they want, they can go down the different aisles and then they can collect stuff on either side, the different varieties of vegetables and whatnot. And then just for fun, I loved making this. It was a bit of a pain, not gonna lie, but had to figure it out. But I got three bunnies in that pen. So the little rabbit's hutch thing was fun, and I thought it kind of balances out, like you're saying, the chicken coops and whatnot. So
hmm There's a few choice words with those rabbits, wasn't there? Trying to get them to actually go in the pen and stay in the pen. So okay, so that's the
yeah.
above view. That is the above view. You can see what she means about the raised garden beds from here.
And
Okay,
had
so
to
let's
make
have a
some
quick look.
alterations too. Don't forget that because in order to light
Oh,
it up
yeah.
like this, originally I had all glass all throughout, and then I was like, to really make it pop so you can see what's being grown, you were good enough to do all that lighting with the track lighting, and
Due to the building
so
system, we couldn't always hang the lights
yeah.
where we wanted to, so she had to do some major mucking around with them.
hmm
So in here we have the large generator, which for once now we have one large generator, but that is thankfully enough to fuel what we need. Mostly light sources and turrets to deal with the vultures. But this is a nice little hideaway place for the turret. Obviously, were we to go further up, that would take us back to the helicopter pad, where we've just come from. So I shan't go any further up there, and we'll proceed downwards. Here we go. Okay, so this is the media area. This is where those who have recovered and those who don't need to recover can at least take some respite from the zombie apocalypse. Heading further down, we get more to the medical facility at this point. Again, both myself and Chibs have worked on these sort of areas. Chibs has had a lot more influence on this than me. As she's pretty much said on her stream, a lot of times during epidemics, pandemics, and certainly other disasters, people, survivors have been coming in, have been looking for lost ones, you know, hoping maybe to be, reunited, or that someone may know about them. So we have a lot of notice boards up here, specifically, so any survivors coming in can maybe leave something up there, and anybody who knows information on their lost or loved ones, or which zombie ate them, may be able to find out. So
Yeah,
again,
prime example sadly was like 9/11. You saw that a lot in the news and everything. It was really sad. But you can understand if you're like separated from somebody, that's why you do it, right? You're just trying to get any information across. So
okay, we have a bathroom, because as per usual, you're going to need a bathroom on this level. Nice little seating area outside here for those who can just convalesce and, relatively peace and quiet out here in the corridor. And over here we have a pop and pills. Yes, just what the doctor ordered. So, having a look inside, you'll find that we have our nice leader guard here, which is all part of Oak's Guards and Pets mod, which allows you to have both pet animals and guard animals, and also allows you to have actual NPCs in your game. So he's actually in here doing a bit of stock taking, because in here we have all of the tablets, the pills, and any other medical supplies we can raid or make. And they're all stored in this area, and the last thing we want is people helping themselves to the drugs. So we keep a nice friendly leader guard in there to keep an eye on the drugs. And yes, we have him tested to make sure he's not dabbling.
just a quick note too. So this bathroom also was a makeshift bathroom that was added on. It wasn't originally there. And then this room too was altered
It was the
and
elevator shaft
made,
originally.
yeah, as well. It was not there either.
So obviously one thing we both spoke about on your stream was the fact that we actually have stairs and everything else, and you'll see a lot of gurneys around, and it's unfortunate we do not necessarily have a great way without an elevator shaft to get the gurneys from one place to another. We considered putting ramps in, but sometimes a ramp could be just as dangerous as anything else. So that is one thing that, we definitely one thing that we thought about, isn't it? Where we thought, yeah, maybe could have done a little bit better.
It was so annoying. Why no wheelchairs? Seriously?
Yeah.
Fun pimps? Come on. Where are the wheelchairs?
So
I,
here we. Sorry, go on, Chips.
I was going to say, I thought that was very odd. You have a hospital situation. Why wouldn't you have certain things like that? I don't know. Maybe they thought it was just like a bit tricky for the automation, like moving it about. But if you're just using it as a prop, like a lot of these things, because they don't move, like the janitor's cart, they don't animate. I just thought that was kind of odd. But anyways, just my
It's
two
kind of a
cents.
shame that they did a while ago remove an awful lot of decorative blocks. They used to have some nice desks, nice chairs and house, but they removed a lot of the furniture
Mm.
for some reason. I don't know, game performance or whatever it was, but yeah, sadly. So here we are with the viewing room. Now, obviously, again, with this being Navezgane POI, you'll recognise this room. This is still the viewing room, and it is whenever you come into the Navezgane hospital. All that's happened here is Chips is very nicely and neatly decorated with a lot of bookshelves, computers. Here you can watch the injured down below being treated, operated on. That for any of those, and
In the
also,
surgery room, yeah. So
yeah,
this is like an observatory, basically. This is what you would have like for medical students to watch, basically what is being done for surgical reasons and stuff, and learn from. Hence why the glass is like that. So
and here we also have it so that survivors can watch over those that were brought in with them, and hopefully see them operated on and recover. Is the hopeful outcome, not always, but hopefully. Over here we have the survivor's kitchen. It's here where they can make themselves a coffee, some toast, or whatever food's available. To keep themselves fed from our lovely garden and things upstairs. So this keeps the hospital and the guards, sort of fed and well. And you have a nice sort of dining area over here. It's a little more than most survivors would actually get. You know what I mean? So it is rather sort of extremely well put together, extremely well done, for a survivors hospital, quite plush, I would say, possibly even better than they had while the world was good. So,
Well, maybe it's a Hollywood hotel. You know, or sorry, hospital.
hospital. I don't know. Hotel could be close.
Sorry.
Mm. But out here, this is where our survivors are brought in at. So you can see we have our two guards over there. Not only are they keeping an eye out for those nasty vultures, but also we have a number of gurneys. So the helicopter will go out, we'll pick up survivors. We can have beds slung onto the wings here, and they can go out, they can pick up survivors, pick up injured, and bring them back here. That way they are loaded from the helicopter onto said gurney. That way they are brought from there into the viewing room, where they can quickly be assessed, and then they can be taken to wherever they need to go. 9 times out of 10, they will be brought back out here, straight down this corridor, past the guards there, and we'll head on further down. This is the lowest point that we've got. We took the top 4 floors. We didn't feel it was feasible to take any more floors than this. We could have done up the whole hospital, I suppose, but it's an awful lot of decorating. I'm pretty sure the server would be cursing me for the amount of decos that we like to put in and everything else. So the top 4 floors were what we gave ourselves, basically. So here we have, what we like to call the surgery level. So there we go. We have the janitor's carts here because you've got to keep it tidy. This is a medical facility. Maybe the apocalypse, but it is still a medical facility and we need to keep it as clean as possible. Tibbs has very kindly opened this door because here we have yet another bathroom. Let's face it, you've got sick people and injured people here. You very much need these bathrooms around. I mean, nobody wants to get caught short, and we definitely, just because the janitor's cart there, we don't want a wet spill on aisle 10. It's just not good.
No.
So here we have our chem lab. Now, we would have liked to have put chemistry, but because of the amount of space at the top there, we couldn't. So it's been abbreviated. Obviously, we have our chem lab there. There's a number of lockers outside here, where people can store their, well, I say their worldly goods. Let's face it, most survivors don't have next to nothing. And as anybody knows who started this game, you've probably got nothing but your plant fiber clothes.
Actually, these lockers are not for that. Tell
No?
them this FYI. No, this
Go
is
ahead.
actually for medical lockers. Actually, you'll see that in hospitals.
Oh, okay.
So yes, that's what they are actually intended for. Now I can't say what it is like over in the UK, but in North America, yeah, you will see that, and that's for staff. Now, because of lack of space, obviously we had to adjust and put them where we felt would kind of work. So if you're working in a chemistry lab, you can't obviously wear your typical clothes that you would normally wear. So if you're going to a job site and everything, you'd get changed probably in the washroom. You have like your proper PPE gear, and then you'd actually go in the chem lab and whatnot and work on stuff there.
And please be aware that we have still, even though it's the apocalypse, even though it may be dirty and grimy out there, and even though we may be lacking, the materials and else, we have tried to adhere to health and safety and health and hygiene as much as possible where we can.
Hence the signs that have the blood on them,
Hmm.
basically. Notice employees must wash hands. Every employee. So
We
there you
are
go.
we are well aware that during a zombie apocalypse it may not be entirely possible to adhere to health and safety or health and hygiene, but in this hospital we've tried to stick to it as much as is possible.
Hmm.
Hence you will see appropriate PPE gear and everything else. So,
Oh,
into the chem lab.
before I forget, just in case, because some people may or may not know the abbreviation. So PPE stands for.
Personal protective equipment.
That's correct. So, those of you who are in the industry, you might know that, but for any younger viewers who might be watching, that's what that stands for. So,
Thank you
and
very
then we
much,
have
Tips.
no
It
worries.
was it was something that, yes, of course, because I also worked in health and safety, and that it's something that I quite often forget, that with abbreviations like that, just because I know what it means, doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's
Yeah.
going to know. So, good call. So here we are in the chem lab because here it's not like we can just order stuff from the local warehouse or anything else. This is the apocalypse. Not everywhere is working, and so this is our chem lab where they actually produce the antibiotics actually produce the bandages and goldenrod tea and anything else that we need. And I'm sure, as Chips has explained on her stream, we also have a sink in here so that should they splash any chemicals in their eyes or anything else, they can quickly wash their eyes out. It's as good as they're going to get, unfortunately, because we do not have any eye wash in here. We do not have any proper eye care stations,
Yeah,
which would normally be present.
it would be an eye wash station, that's correct, and everything. So if you're handling any dry chemicals or any liquid chemical substances whatsoever, yeah, you do want to flush that out. Even if you're in a hospital, for crying out loud, doesn't matter. You want to get that cleared out right away, obviously, and then obviously see a doctor.
Okay, so that is our chem lab. Two very dubious characters making the drugs there. Right, onwards. So here we are in surgery. We have our guard outside the surgery, just keeping an eye on things for us. And again, you have another waiting area out here, so our survivors can wait for their loved ones or their companions who may be inside. And obviously, this is where they'll be brought from the viewing room upstairs down to here if they need specific treatment. So you'll see gurneys outside. You'll see the waiting area for people to sit and wait. You'll see these bookshelves here, which Chips has put in, so that those who are waiting may have something other to do than just bite their nails and tear their hair out. As you can see here, again, nicely decorated, making it hopefully a more calming area for people to enjoy. Water
Well, the
fountains
original
there.
pieces were just ugly and stuff, so we're trying to like make it a little bit fresher look, and we're trying to use all the different mods appropriately in different situations and whatnot. So
Okay, and heading in here. This is what we like to call, it is the surgery, but it's also the crafting room. Now, obviously, being a surgery, you wouldn't normally have your crafting room in a surgery, but we've integrated it in and, placed it in here. Like I said, we've not gone overly practical on this. Our theme was more for the hospital. So do bear that in mind. So up in the center here, this is where the surgery takes place. As you can see, we're below the viewing room above. And obviously, since you're working on quite a few bodies, as you can see, our resident Dr. Jojo over there. She looks more like a cowboy than a doctor, but hey, imagination's great, isn't it?
uh
Um,
yeah.
the kind of body here with the biohazard on. Well, yeah, this is where we have our working stiffs. We're not just talking about the tools. Anyway, he definitely looks dead. Mm, yeah, really. That's the table. That's the surgery sort of area, just here. Now, obviously, as I said, in here we have a number of our desk components, sinks, and everything. The surgery area, medical cabinets, but we also have the tactical weapons A20 bench there, obviously for making your new guns and ammo from that mod. The usual, we have forges. As per always, I have placed boxes in. I have labelled every single one of them because despite myself seeming chaotic at times, I like everything in its place and I like to know where everything is. But that's just me. Cement mixers. And here around here we have our desks, our computers, our sinks, another Zen's workbench for all your furniture needs. Over here, Chem Lab. So, and then two workbenches here. So, as you can see, we have our chalkboard up here. We have our empty drawers, our cabinets for all your medical needs. And this is where the surgery takes place. So, with the viewing room above, they can quite easily see what's going on here.
Hmm. I actually like the attention to detail when it came to the chemistry sets, which is pretty cool. Because I liked how they put all these different types of beakers and whatnot. And it's pretty cool. So, and when we were refinishing this room and stuff, we kept a lot of it, repainted a lot because it just needed a fresh coat. But we got rid of like a lot of unnecessary clutter, I guess you could say, and then basically tried to make it work. Like, imagine the series, those of you who watch like The Walking Dead. So you're in an abandoned, hospital, but you have to make it yours because if you're rescuing people and kind of building a bit of a community of sorts, then you have to have certain services available. But you're still using the available um, tools that are at your disposal in an actual hospital. So that's where we're trying to aim with this build, I guess you could say, right? So
Hmm. Okay, let's have a look. And obviously, once they've undergone surgery, I'm going to come through here to the rest and recuperation area. Here we have not only our friendly guard outside keeping on. Oh, she is dodgy as hell, isn't she? Sorry, Lesabelle, but you are dodgy as anything. So in these rooms we have our medical facilities. So here we have our medical beds. They do look like they've seen better days. They look like they need a janitor themselves, but don't judge. So here we have cabinets, some lockers, obviously medicals for tablets and such, and enough for 4 patients in here. This is where they'd come after surgery, to be looked after and to hopefully rehabilitate, get better. Obviously, bathroom in here, toilet, shower. Basically, enough to give them that little bit of privacy and, just enough to hopefully get them back on their feet again, quite literally. So we've got this room here and sink there. But we also, yes, employees must wash hands, definitely. And also we have this other room. Thank you, Chibs.
no worries.
And in here we have another 4 beds, so we could take up to 8 at this point. But then again, you'll see many other beds around because, like any hospital, it needs to be adaptable. So you'll see extra beds, extra gurneys, and everything else just in case of an influx. Although, to be fair, in 7 Days to Die, aside from player characters, there are very rarely many survivors, unless you're using an overhaul mod. And through here, another private bathroom. So it means that those who are resting and recuperating do actually have a good chance of recovering. Then once they have, obviously they can move out on, maybe rejoin the media area, the viewing area, either way. Rejoin the community upstairs, and once they've rehabilitated. Janitor's cart there, again, you know, health and hygiene and tidiness. Awesome.
Now this you did as well. I thought this was really
I,
cool.
I did.
You can explain it a little bit in more
I
detail what the
was,
purposes of this? This is more for like
I,
what, physiotherapy kind of?
this is definitely more for your physiotherapy. I felt out here, obviously, we've come straight from the patient's room. So while they're resting and recuperating from anything, like infection, broken legs, or broken bones, lacerations, anything like that, they actually need somewhere to go. So out here we have, I'd like to call this a therapy pool. Now, unfortunately, because of the water physics for 7 Days to Die, I just didn't stuff. Okay, whatever. Yeah, due to the water physics on 7 Days to Die, without having admin, obviously I can't smooth this pond over. I can't make it flat. So it was again just placing water blocks, and well, the water blocks didn't behave nicely, so this is why you can see it's very, very much very dodgy.
Kind of reminds me like if you had like Jello, water made into a Jello pan
Yeah.
or something.
So you have our therapy pool there, which to be honest with you, yeah. Anyway, and here you have all your weights, your benches, stuff like that, your running machines. So for once, they're not running from zombies. They can actually run on the running machines. They can get their strength back up in relatively peace and safety. And out here, there are a number of chairs for them to actually sit and relax as well, separate from the other patients, because obviously this is for our more major patients for their recovery and recuperation. Water coolers there, because obviously keep hydrated. So yes, that's what this smaller version is, and this is our lowest section of the hospital. As you can see, with the Navezgane Hospital, there are a few more levels down, but we have not done anything with the lower levels whatsoever because it would be too much. It would just be too much, and for the kind of decorating we do and everything else, it would
Oh
be
yeah.
it
It'd
would
be
be too
ridiculous.
heavy.
It's like,
So
well, you wouldn't. Well, okay. So each and every of these builds that you guys have to remember and stuff, we have to do them in about a week's time. Then we have to record and prep, do walkthrough and everything, make sure everything's tested and whatnot. So in order to make sure that we are able to, get these done within a reasonable amount of turnover for you guys to enjoy. Yeah, if we had the luxury of time, maybe we might be able to get it done in maybe 2 weeks for something this size. It's just a bit much, especially with just two people. And like even in a week's worth of time, like we were pretty steady at it, working on this and put a lot of hours. So it's not like, oh yeah, just did like about an hour a day. That was
Yeah,
it.
I'll pump it
So
out, and plus with our time differences
yeah,
as well, with you being in Canada, myself being in the UK, obviously getting together and getting these projects going can sometimes take some effort.
yeah.
But either way, it's been a lot of fun. As always, a lot of laughs with you, and it was nice to have one that was more slightly relaxing for a change,
Oh
and
yeah, tons of fun. And
definitely
it
more
was
on
neat
themes.
project to work on. So much to do, so many different ideas and coming up with again different ways to utilize these mods to showcase and make it look really nice for you guys. So we're going to do a proper like kind of 360 view around the property, you figure?
I've just done that while we were talking. I have just been up. I have shown the different platforms from height
Ah,
and
you
everything while we're
cheated.
chatting.
You did it
I
on
I
the other view.
I did
Not
indeed.
in the
I did
helicopter?
indeed.
Come
No,
on,
no, no.
man.
I did the flight thing. So with that, yeah, now we've shown off. We've done everything. Again, thank
Yeah.
you for all the help, Chibs. It's been awesome as usual. Lots of fun and games and lots of ideas, and I'm definitely looking forward to our next one.
Yeah, me too. I want to say thank you again, Tal. It was a pleasure as always, and can't wait to work on any future projects. Don't know if we're going to do any more 7 Days to Die. We still need to kind of talk about that.
Yep.
Some other projects we were thinking about possibly doing would be like Conan Exiles. I haven't played that one for a while.
Mhm.
So that would be a good one to showcase to you guys. Arc is another one, possibly.
Yep.
Um, and who
Yeah.
knows, maybe even what was the other one? Was it
Could be
Atlas?
any of them. We're definitely in
Was
discussions.
it?
Definitely in
Trying to
discussions.
remember.
There's so many that we could do.
Yeah. So I just want to say thank you. It's always a pleasure. Tons of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this as much as we did. So until next time, guys. Later.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.